on the first, so basing on this part, on the spectrum itself. So from what I'm looking, it's that it's from what I'm looking, it's like that emoji that has those that's brain just exploded.
Do you know what I've just found out? Do you know what I just found out? Do you know what we just found out?
What?
We've had no noise. Yep. We've had no noise so far. Oops. Never mind. Put that back up. Let's crack on. Hello everyone. If you've been watching us, you've been watching a silent stream so far. I'm so sorry. Right. Let's get cracking, shall we? Switch my glasses over. Someone's a bit closer up.
The spectrum itself.
Okay, so what we on about? We've got Mollog the Mighty. We've got Mollog the Mighty. You've been seeing that.
So the spectrum, the model we're doing right now looks like that emoji. You know that emoji that's really surprised, like the mind blown emoji. It reminds me of that from the model's design. Like, I know it's probably some weird plant matter coming out of its head, but you cannot tell me that this does not look like the mind blown emoji.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot tell me that this doesn't look like the mind blown emoji.
Yeah, come on in. Right, you got me these bits to go through.
So we also have now, if you're wondering what my favorite model is so far, it would definitely be one of these boys, because I absolutely love the goofiest chihuahua in the age of Sigma, the Squigs.
Squigs, you do love a squig, don't you?
I love they're like goofy chihuahuas. They try and bite your ankles, but in reality they don't.
Bit angrier than Chihuahua.
And they're really aggressive.
How's
But
that
and they can, and sometimes they are deadly. But yet again, you cannot say that it's just so funny a chihuahua, a small little puppy trying to bite your ankle, because like they're practically as tall as they're not as tall as a human. They like sure it may bite your leg off, but it's worth the laugh you're gonna do at a squig. Unfortunately, if I do have to fight a squig, I will have to kill it. But I will have a huge funeral after.
Right. So
Meanwhile, I'll get out its base.
Yeah. Good idea. How's the football going? Dear. All kicking off in the football. This is the only problem doing it at the computer, because every time I scrape off some of the plastic, it ends up blowing into the computer itself.
Sorry if you're getting blinded by the plastic. Anyway, compared to Durfu, this model will look insignificant by a long shot. Because if you're not aware on how tall Durfu is...
Durthu's big. We got Durthu finished off stream last night, didn't we?
So if I was to compare Durfu, he is barely shorter than my hand, which is stupid. If you add on the base too, if you add on the base at the start of my hand, then he's practically just a tiny bit taller. So Durfu is big. Durfu is big. And if you're wondering, and if you're like really small and your hand's tiny, like, I'm not gonna say my age. But my hand isn't fully grown, okay? So it may not be as big as your hand, and you can hold him easily. But for any of you who that are like 6 or 7 out there, just consider and your hand is like really tiny and say, Duff is tiny. He is not tiny.
Right, so these bits are...
I
Okay.
I
What are you
will
snatching
take
for?
them back to the. I
Let's
will
see,
take
how does that
them
dry
back.
fit?
I will take them back to the Gloom Spike Git forges.
Hang on, is this pushed together? Because if this is pushed together, we're going to have to be very careful with the glue, and I think it is.
Oh no, you put this in. No, you put this on there and then.
Okay, and then that's why the gap's in the middle. Gotcha. Right, okay. So,
Can I have these
yeah, go on then.
papers?
Go on then.
So infinity glue.
Infinity glue. Infinity glue. Right, hang on. This is the only problem. Can't see with it in my face.
I don't know for. Only the modeler can lift the. Only the modeler can lift the glue. Only the only person in history has been king or modeler Arthur the First.
Neither one can see you either in this camera or this camera.
And I managed to.
Yeah, well,
pull
don't
it out,
squid
and
it
I
all
managed
over
to
me.
pull it out the
Get off.
table. Why do I keep doing Excalibur references?
Right. How are we doing back there? Are you gluing hidden? How is anyone in our stream going to see this? If you're hiding down there.
I'm trying
Come here.
to figure out. I'm trying
Come
to
here.
figure out which way it goes. Yeah, I definitely think that this thing has a. Yeah, this thing is definitely a representative. The representative of the mind blown emoji. So now we know which way these go. Guys, I'm gonna put the thing in it. Sorry for all you girls around there. You're awesome. You can do whatever you want.
Right. Where are we now? How are we doing? Right, it's all quiet here because no one can. No, look. Come here. Our viewers are there. All there. No one can see you there. I told you. Right. You did the thing, didn't you? Yeah. So the problem we've often had with these, right? So you can sort of see this is when you got the pin in the middle, right? When you put the glue in, what happens is it creates like a pneumatic effect, right? So you can't quite shut it. Okay. Now we've had conversations with my little man before about not doing that, and if it's just a push, we either need to make a little gap inside somewhere to let the air out,
So.
or not using glue. However, you're not a huge fan of that, are you? You do like sticking glue right in the middle of the hole, don't you?
Because it's the easiest way to do it.
It's the easiest way to do it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best way to do it, okay? So I'm going to have to just quickly try and lever. So what I'm going to do is just lever this out.
Did Albert Einstein use the easiest way, or did he go out, or did he use the most effective way?
What do you know about Albert Einstein then? Go on.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so how do you know? It's a speculation. Okay, we got to the end of it, haven't we? Right. So what did Albert Einstein do? He actually used a difficult way. To be fair. Did Albert Einstein
use the easiest method, or did he use the most effective?
Don't know. You tell me. Do you know?
Because half the scientists on planet Earth use the easiest method to calculate, so they're most likely.
Are you? Do you have any evidence of that, mate, or are you just making a hypothesis? Are you just speculating again?
Charles Darwin had to write his book in a hurry because someone else was onto it.
That is very, very true. He wasn't the only person who thought what he thought, so he wanted to get out first.
So if you're in a rush, you're not going to use the most effective method to make people believe you. You're going to use the quickest of methods.
That's true, but considering that we don't want to necessarily ruin the models that we've got, we do want to sort of do it in a better way, don't we? Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some glue down the sides, because that'll help to hide the
I just said we have
the mold lines.
3 hours.
The mold lines, the gaps.
3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of on a ticking time bomb because Rockville is currently out, and I don't want him back.
Well,
because
we want him back, but we just want to make sure he doesn't come running upstairs and shout. Right then, so let's try this. All I've done here is I've just sort of trimmed down half of the peg to create a gap so that air can come out of it, and I've put some glue around the outside because that's going to hold it still. So if there is a little tiny bit of a gap, that glue should fit it in a bit better. So let's have another look. Let's give it a squidge. See what happens. So there's still a bit of a gap there. I'm not going to lie. Trying to push it together hard. Okay, so that is as solidly together as it's going to
And
get.
now we have a model that looks like the
we're
mind
gonna
blown emoji.
Going to need to probably file this down a
Now
bit.
we have a
Wait for it
model
to dry.
that looks
Bit
like
more
the
glue.
mind blown emoji.
Mind
If
blown
you don't
emoji.
know what
A
it
little
is,
bit.
it's basically an emoji. A
think I know what
shocked
the mind
emoji
blower
with
is.
the mind with smoke coming out of its head. Like, you cannot tell me that this doesn't look
See,
like
now
it.
that-
Look at it.
That's a really tight. That
Look at
joint
it
on
and
that
tell me
side
that
is
it's
really
not
good
the
because
mind
it's got.
blown emoji because it has fumes coming out of its head.
Yeah, this one's really
Like,
really good.
I know they're
But the one on the other
green,
side doesn't.
but yet again,
It's
maybe it just
tight.
has a green brain.
Maybe.
But maybe it has
Maybe.
like a turquoise brain. Maybe the brain is pink, so it went to orange because it's made out of pink and white, but that white turned into yellow. That would explain why there's yellow coming out of its head. And it's,
Right.
and for
I'm
turquoise,
not sure how we're going to deal with that.
and for
Maybe leave it.
turquoise,
I don't know.
took that green and made it yellow. So now it's just.
Here we go.
So now it's just. So now it's just. So now it's just green.
Right.
If you're a mushroom, how do you think you do think?
So again, right? Is that all the bits for this?
If you're
No,
a mushroom,
there's more.
how
Bit,
do
where's
you
the rest of the
think?
bits?
Do you think?
Excuse me, Mister. 19 and 18 as well. Thank you very much.
I
Walking
just
around
want to do
pontificating.
17 because it's more vital. It's more vital.
Yeah, I know it's more vital in that sort of way. It goes into it, but we need to put these mushrooms into the stand. Okay. I do sort of think sometimes in these flatter areas to start off with a file will be helpful, just to stop the, because it kind of divots, doesn't it? If you do this over a gap, it kind of sticks into the gap and takes more of the gap, makes the gap a little bit more obvious at times, rather than just
So
flattening.
you know what's confusing with
Oh, what's confusing? Lots of things.
Game Workshop models?
What's confusing for you for Games Workshop?
Figuring out if to put it on the base
Yeah.
previously or to leave it off the base.
Ah, that is actually a good one. Whether you should actually remove it from the base,
Like taking
keep it off the base.
Dari. Do you want to glue him to the base straight away? Like, do you want to glue him to the base straight away? Do you think you can get in between those thorns? Like, do you think it's easy to get in between those thorns? Or do you want to not leave him in his base? This is the guy I'm talking about.
No, we haven't glued him into the base, have we? Just in case we need to sort of pop him out. The advantage with at least with those bases, at least with these textured bases, you've got holes at the bottom, and so what you can do is just underneath either get your craft knife or something and just push them out, so you can then paint them.
Something you can rely on knowing bases is plain bases. If your base is plain, then you don't need to worry about it. If it's just plain, you don't need to worry about putting it.
Yeah, but then we have had the problem. So we have got a few models where we've kind of taken off the base, and there's a few sorry looking models. So we got this guy here, right? So we've had to take him off the base, and unfortunately he's lost his peg here while we took him off the base. And we had to take him because we were really struggling to get into here. Now, Henry's had a really, really good go at this one, and I need to go around and tidy it up. So what I'm doing is he's starting it off, and I can then sort of do a bit of tidying
nightmare for
up.
beginning painters is tactical rocks.
Tactical rocks.
Or skulls for this guy.
Yes.
So
it's something about height. It's just making sure the leader models look a little bit taller, so you can tell they're the leader model.
Tactical rocks are
looks fitting.
almost never the same colour as the model.
Do you know which one which of these is, by the way, boss?
Then sometimes you will have a tactical rock that is your colour.
You should be able to tell.
If
So
you're
this one is.
For all those Necron players, they're not really worried about it because
This one's
most
18.
rocks.
Wow,
because
that
most
is a
rocks
very, very small piece.
In the 40th millennium are either on gliders.
Trim that off there.
Are either on gliders, or
That's
are either put in gliders, or either put on gliders. It's bugs, insects, bugs or insects or tiny little tyrannid raptors, or just straight up, or for the Necron blade specifically, the rock's just the same color as the Necron. Because I find that hilarious, that sometimes a rock can look like a Necron. Which, for me, just sometimes...
A rock can look like a Necron. Right, so you're saying a rock can look like a metallic skeleton.
Yeah, like it can have the same color. It can, like, I feel like it can has the same color of an exoskeleton. Like, just look at that. Just look at it.
Got this one. What's happening here? So I'm just trying to look at, on the model, which one round is it? And I think 18 goes on this side. So I think this is 18.
I just feel like a beige rock in real life could look like the same as the Necron's metallic parts. But, like, which means the model will be stupidly easy to paint. Just give it a base coat, give it the same wash all around, and then for the green parts just do something
one of these
different.
is lower than the others.
But yet again, hard models to do always capes. And I would know, because I paint Stormcast Eternals, who half of them have capes.
Yeah, they are a bit tricky that way, aren't they? Right, so there's a tall bit and a
capes
small bit.
are a nightmare to do. You have to go both ways round, and you have to stop at one point,
there.
And you have to blend that between with either like if I was doing the Predator Prime.
Right, you're gonna come and push this bit in then. You're gonna come and push this bit. Now I've done the little mushrooms because they were tiny and fiddly. So here's the thing, right? So we're gonna push this in, but we won't glue it because if we need to get them out again, for any reason to get like behind the mushrooms at all, let's put it right in the middle of the camera so everyone can see. There we go. Brilliant.
And this is what I like to call the mind-blown emoji mushroom. Here's a bit closer. Very cool model.
There we go. So that's that one done. Right, first bit. Next one then.
On to the next one, we have the
Stalag Squig. So 21,
yes.
22, 23.
Anything that has squig in its name gets me excited.
You should have cut these out while we were talking.
Does it look like I bet for the future? No. I'm taking that as a no. But
sorry, I'm just looking at Tinterweb. Right, come on then. Chop chop.
So that's
21, 22, 23.
I'm looking for my food. There it is. I like to put it on my pillow since it's not like my bed.
Yeah.
I can't get caught on the fur. And if you're wondering what bed I do have, yeah, I have this sheet. It's a weighted blanket, okay? I need it. Trust me. Trust me, half the planet's population of children are afraid of the dark.
Okay.
Like, if you weren't afraid of the dark when you were a child, then whoever you are, then you must be some sort of brave person that doesn't scream at horror movies. Like, I don't know what horror movies are like. I never watched them. Probably never will. But if you're that kind. But if you're not afraid of the dark once in your life, then you're that guy that wouldn't scream at horror movies or horror games or something related remotely made to scare you, like adult ghost trains. Like, I don't know anything about scaring people. I specifically am the sensible one when it comes to scaring. Like, sometimes people and their friends will try and get a good laugh out of their friends at school by waiting for people to come out while they're putting something out from their locker, by jumping and get at them and
have you got me piece 23 yet?
Jump. But
piece 23.
But what makes this it's so hilarious is the fact that you your friend's going to get you back eventually. And it is inevitable. Unless if you're me, who doesn't really care. And whenever you supposedly try and scare me, it's not normally a scare. It's more of my system putting itself getting just ready to fight back on whatever is behind me. Now some would say that's a scare. But yet again, if a lion is going, do you think lions are scared of hyenas or not? No. But yet
Lions are
again,
scared of
they're
a lot of
ready for a
hyenas.
fight. But yet again, they're just getting ready for a fight. But yet again, they're ready for a fight if any sort of predator wants to take over the area, including the lions. And yes, that means sometimes the Lion King does exist. In a lot of other ways.
Okay.
In a lot of ways, in a lot of ways in the wild, out of the Lion King, it got the best possible ending. It got the best and luckiest ending it could have had in the wild, specifically because of Ryan's biology. And their mindset.
Right. Let's have a look. So we've got another one here. Looks like we've got another peg here. Another easiest to assemble peg. Everything here so far has been in like an easy assemble put it together type. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're not going to put any glue in the hole this time. What we're going to do is put glue around the outside.
Okay, fine, that makes sense. Wait,
Okay.
just let me
So
figure
you
out how to
stack
do
up that one while I put the glue on here.
The tongue.
It's the tongue. So it
the
looks like
tongue.
it's going to attach
It's a tongue.
here, here, across the bottom, up the side. It looks like it's going to attach here. Ooh, let's just get rid of that excess. It might be a bit much though. Ooh, paper on the floor. So look, how much more is going to stick
that
together?
seems
Right, you ready?
real good.
Come on, quick! I got the glue on the go.
It does.
Come on, I got the glue on the go. Come on,
it
man.
slides in
Quick,
real,
quick.
real good.
Quick!
Oh God, it does slide in real good.
Well, okay, well just hurry up. Have you put it the right way around? What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the tongue out.
Why are you trying to get the tongue out? That's exactly where it should be, isn't it? What's wrong? Have you put it in backwards? It's meant to be this way. It's meant to go this way.
Yeah, but I can't get it out now.
Why do you want to get it out? We're gluing it
I
now.
don't know.
We're gluing it now. Ready?
I don't
So now
know.
put the hang on, move fingers out the way for a second. There we go. Right.
Can I?
You ready?
Can I take it?
Yeah, only if you do it on stream.
I don't want to do
Come
it.
On stream.
Okay, so like more like this and.
Let's have a look.
Oh, that's gonna go up. That's
Hang, you're right. You're too high. You're too high. You're too high. You're too high. You're squidging the glue on the model. That's it, mate. Lower down. Okay, it goes down further here. So this needs to go up a bit more. That's the problem. I think that needs to come round a bit further, maybe. Can we do that? Try and poke it out the mouth that way. Before slotting it in there. There we go. Oh, right, because it hangs out the side. There we go. Right, let's give it a squidge.
sounded good.
That was a solid. Now there is a tiny little gap
Is there an eye
just along
here?
the top here.
I don't think it has eyes. Is it just round?
Well, it's a stalactite squig.
It's a static squig.
So it's a squig stalactite thing. So
What genetically?
what I'm gonna do?
What do the Gloomspite kids know about genetics? How did they fuse a non-living object with fungi? Something
Well,
that is known to reproduce by spores and is the father to millions.
Okay, come on, mister. We need the base for this one. So I need 20, 24, and 25. Let's pop this on here to try and keep this a bit upright. So I've just put some extra glue down the cracks. And what will happen is it will go into the cracks. It will slightly. So the plastic glue works by actually melting the plastic ever so slightly and then drying to make like a really strong bond. So what's happening right now is that it's ever so slightly melting the plastic. You give that a squidge. Oh dear. Good job. This is a static squig. Alright, so it's slightly melting the plastic. It will then dry hard and then I can come along before we paint it and just quickly touch it over with a craft knife. Awesome. Okay.
Or for what looks like for yet again another thing that for some reason looks like something to me. A piece of broccoli.
Here.
A piece of broccoli. It's very small.
You liken everything to food.
To be honest, I'll eat half the thing you throw at me.
Okay. So let's.
Unless specifically nothing with carrots though. Like it's a 50% chance I like carrot cake. It's basically sugar with a vegetable I don't like, meaning that it's something. But yet again, I don't get why people say that pineapple on pizza is bad. Your flavor opinion does not mean the world's flavor opinion is nothing compared to yours.
You're very angry, aren't you? You're very angry sometimes. Why are you so
Pineapple on pizza
frustrated?
is good to me, but yet again, if you say that's bad, keep your opinions to yourself. No one cares.
Hey, little man, come on. Don't be like that. You're right. Everyone can have their own opinion. It's not a problem if people have
Your
their own opinion.
opinion is to stay
But you don't. No.
because it can offend some people and
well,
make them sad and make them.
Yeah, but
And so do whatever you do.
there are ways of. I think
that pineapple is bad on pizza because yet again there will be an entire community out there.
You're missing one. We're missing one.
that
I've got
likes
25, 24. I need 25.
I
I think what you're basically saying. Oh, you have them. I think what you're basically saying is that there are ways to do things. Yeah.
Well, you have 25. This is 24.
Oh, I got 25. That's 25. This one's 24. Right. Okay. Other way around. So what you're saying is there are ways of doing things. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, why would you say? Like, when you create an opinion, 20 years later, maybe one day, it will be natural. People that hate pineapple on pizza will then be in the debt. Will then have to try and implicate it to themselves because there are more people that like pineapple on pizza now.
Alright. I don't think you need to worry about that, mate.
Like, pineapple on pizza is good. It's just good. No matter what your opinion is, there will always be someone that likes you, that has the opposite opinion, unless if it's on the way that, unless if it's
Come on.
the way.
Let's put this
unless
bit
if
together.
It's that garden ornament.
Come on.
I just
Come
need
on.
to look at,
Yeah.
which they are,
Okay.
because I really like garden ornaments for some reason.
You do like a garden ornament, don't you? Got lots of metal dinosaurs.
Why is there a
outside them.
skull with a stalactite squig? This makes sense.
Stalag squig. So although I can see
To be
the
honest,
little glazy bits in between where
To be honest-
the glue has been,
To be
That's
honest,
still
no,
really
it's
soft, gotta be
just a
careful.
static.
the glue
It's
itself.
just a static. It's not
will
a
just get
static
painted
toy.
over.
It's not a static mic because
you go.
one is on the ceiling, one is on the floor. Heck, maybe you should hang this thing from the ceiling because it's
Okay.
actually based off of the static type that hangs
Right,
from
do you wanna
the
do-
ceiling.
Do you want to do
instead of
Mollog
static
first or the bat squig first? They got Mollog next before the bat squig, so what do you want to do?
That's one.
Bat squig. Bat squig! Da 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 da.
Na 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 na. To the
Okay.
back. To the squig cave. Na 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 na. Why do I have to do that? Why do I have to reference everything?
No idea, dude. You're an odd one.
I know. Am I sad? Do I care? Not at all. Do the people want me to care? Yes. But are they ever going to succeed? No. They are not going to succeed. Because my opinion is my own opinion and your opinion is your opinion. So keep it to yourself and please don't try and implicate that I am wrong because there will always be someone that disagrees with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like putting the milk before the cereal is the right way to do it. Like
Are you planning to have a scrap or something? Because you're very sort of like, if
No.
you think these things, rah.
No, I'm not. No.
Good.
But you do know who is ready to have a scrap.
Who's that then?
The entire Crawlboy nation. And possibly the Ogre tribe, because they know they're getting paid well and dandy food.
Ah, okay.
Unless if all your Ogre tribe units die, then there's not really anything you can do about that. But hey, at least there's more meat for you.
Mm.
In more ways than one. You know what makes... You know what? The bat squig is gonna probably... Like, what makes sense to me is that Mollog has all these things, but two of the models that we're getting are hybrids of squigs. Because something makes me think that the Gloomspike gets know something about genetics, because they're managing to do this. Like, bat squigs are... to be honest, this is probably gonna be something I like for the next 20 years. And you know what, it's bat squig time. No, bat squig! Bat squig! It's a boomerang! Imagine if there was a where Mollog actually threw the bat squig as a boomerang. That would be so hilarious. Wait, okay, here's something I want to know now. Is the batarang a boomerang? Or is it a throwing star? Because it acts like a throwing star, but it has boomerang in its name.
Right. How we doing? Sorry. Quick slurp. Right. Off we go. So, bat
To be
squig.
honest, we may never know.
I don't know.
Unless if they reveal it in, Batman 12. Like, how many Batman movies have been released? I think it's a bit way too many. Like,
You don't watch Batman movies.
I don't.
You've not seen
then
Dark
again,
Knight
even
because it's a
I-
bit. Dark Knight's a bit too grown up for you just yet, but you will watch Dark Knight because to be fair, I'll make you.
To be honest,
Mm.
like, to be honest, I'm pretty sure Iron Man doesn't even have that much movies, and he's been in the MCU for like what 200, for like what about 40, maybe 60.
Is that a little horn?
How
Is that-
many years have
Yeah, it's a nostril.
has Tony Stark been in the MCU?
Well, don't know how. I don't think the MCU is thousands of years old. I think Stan Lee's not that old. So it's sort of less than 100, maybe. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe someone out there knows.
I mean,
Maybe someone
you
out there knows
can't
exactly.
Really get rid of Stan Lee. He will always be the original. He will always be the amazing Marvel, and he will also always. But for some reason I just want.
The end of a sentence.
Stan Lee to just be in the next to just throw down the Infinity Stones from the next one.
Well, that'll be very, very difficult for him because unfortunately he passed away.
Yeah, but it could be a cloud.
Maybe. Hopefully there'll be some sort of reference, but I'm not sure they will because I don't know. Maybe it'll be difficult. Okay, so bat squig. So this one is the one that has an ability to affect a unit with a mortal wound each turn. But obviously, as this unit takes damage, you've got to decide whether you're going to put them onto the wounds onto Mollog or to his companions. Because I assume it's a unit of 4, or is it?
I mean, I don't
Let's have a
think
look
they
properly.
even have health.
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't-
it
I
says
think
if you
it's
choose
just
to
like a
remove.
killer
So
boss. They
it
don't
says if
have
you choose to
health.
remove. Okay, so you know the companions. So before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this unit, okay, instead of making it, okay. Okay, so they act as a bit of a meat shield. So they can act as a bit of a meat shield, which allow you to take these to take a wound on Mollog's behalf, and then.
If I was anyone in
but
the
each
fight,
of these
I just
has their own
wouldn't do
ability,
it. I
so
love
you'd have to
bat
choose
squeak too
carefully.
much. I love bat and static. I love bat and static squeak too much.
Bat and static squeak too much. Well, I'll tell you what. While I'm doing this, why don't I flick back? So for the bat squeak,
No,
I
you
need.
can go in the garbage. I'm gonna hang out with bat and
Right, Mister.
static squeak.
I've got these two. Have you got 11 and 13?
I do.
So you get 11 and 13. Yeah. So get those off because I can start.
Need 11 first.
You need 11 first, and you'll need 13. Let's get rid of this little thing here.
No, you need.
I have a little.
You need 8 first.
Let me try and put it in the middle. A bit more. There we go. Da 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 da.
What do you think?
So how is
What do you
everyone
think
doing today?
the hardest Games Workshop model to beat in Age of Sigmar?
Hardest Games Workshop model to beat in Age of Sigmar.
Now it's definitely not Durfu, because just because a model's big doesn't mean it's stupidly hard. And we're not just talking about defense or HP. We are also talking about how hard it hit you and how many models you need and what kind of models you need to defeat it.
I'm sure people have done this. They've had like a grudge match. Strongest unit. Who's strongest? I want to go. Someone is implying that Skaven, because of their ranged capability. Okay. Most. That's 40k. What's the most? How do you counter? Fast. See, here's the thing, right? So it all depends, and this is why there are constant conversations about it. Is the fact that it very much depends on your playstyle. It depends on the mission you've got to do, and it depends on the opponent you're fighting and what your opponent's carrying.
To be honest, if you have speed missions, not model takeover missions, then the bites will definitely be your thing.
Exactly, but then if you've got to take and hold, where you've got to sit still on an objective of some sort.
That'd be Raven Guard.
Well, no, because Raven Guard don't do that. The whole point of Raven Guard is that they go through very, very fast. And you are not exactly having a lot of models in a Raven Guard unit.
Yeah, exactly. They go very, very fast.
So they go very fast. So if you've got it, no, but take and hold means what are you putting on the unit to keep it there? You'd have to have something behind. You know, you don't want to bring in your Deathwing, which is a load of very expensive Terminators who are absolute nightmares in combat. And we need to have them sit on an objective in the backfield for a bit. So it's very sort of not rock paper scissors as such, but it's down to you having a definite plan of what's doing what. So I like playing Astra Militari.
Besides, if you just get rid of an entire army, then you already win. So I'm guessing for armies that are very violent, like the Orcs and Necrons and Tyranids, then that will be okay.
But there are actually lots of examples of armies which have been very sort of stabby killy death, and they've not done very well. Because they haven't actually been able to do the objectives. You've got to really think about what you're doing. It's not as easy as just throw it forward, kill it. Okay, that's a bit better. So yeah,
or you could just fake them out for going to an objective, and then they all rush that objective, only to realise that you're going for a different objective with a better unit for the objective.
Yeah, so you can trick people into thinking you're going one way and you can grind. So that's called a feint, F-E-I-N-T, feint. So you go for one attack.
I thought it was called a red herring.
Yeah, red herring is another phrase for it. Yeah, absolutely. So red herring, or it's a feint is like a feint is an attack that doesn't really hit. So it makes you think, oh my god, they're going to come this way, but actually they're coming round a different way. So there's lots of examples in history of armies that were defeated because they did a feigned attack. Okay, so looks like, what do we got here? So the tongue sits in the middle for this one, kind of like so. Does it go uppity up? So it wiggles down and wiggles up. So this one kind of sits in there like that. Sit in the other one first better. Might sit on the other side easier.
If you have missions that you really do want to do quick.
Hang on a second. Okay, so this
missions where you want to go for it, where you just want to sick, the weak, to get rid of a bit of Terminators, then Tyranids and Necrons will be for you. But then we have Space Orcs that are really just a
Violent.
wild and non-wild
So
card,
it fits into
because
that
they're
second one there.
necessarily not good at anything, but they're not bad at anything either.
Yeah, so Space Orcs are definitely
Why are we talking about
yeah,
40k
they're definitely
in
very
an
violent.
Age of Sigmar video?
Yeah, well, Oryx. So Oryx in Age of Sigmar are kind of the same, but it all depends. So you've got different sorts of Oryx, which is very much what the destruction set you get here.
To be honest, the Orcs in Age of Sigmar's only goal should, if the goals were perfectly accurate on the team, then it would just be go in and kill as much stuff as you can.
That is normally the very orky way of doing things. However, so
unless if you're
come here, Bush. We're gluing. Come here, we're gluing. Right, so you just have to lay that on top, but be very careful. That tongue's only very gently in there. That's it. Good boy. All right, so right, are you aware of Gork and Mork? Do you know who Gork and Mork are?
No.
Right. So Gork and Mork are the two gods that the Orcs worship in both 40k and Stormbringer. Okay.
Wait. Okay,
And
that's starting to get more.
come here, you. I've got to
That's
do a wing.
starting
Get
to
here. I've got to do a
get
wing.
more
You can do the other bits in a second. Come here. I've got to do the wing. So the idea is
now
that.
I gotta cut out a base.
Come here.
I'm gonna get a base.
Careful, careful, careful. Line it up first before you start snipping. Take your time. You're not in a rush. Take your time, mate. You've got nowhere to be. Okay, don't hold it at a funny angle. Make sure it's the right angle first, and then snip. Good boy. That's it. Come here. We've got to put this wing in. Okay, so I'm because this is another hole. I'm going to put a little dab just on the outside.
What do you think the worst approach to go into a battle?
Are you going to help me do this
is?
wing, or shall I do it?
What do you think the worst approach in history to go into a battle was in history?
The worst approach. Hang on a
Ever
second.
recorded live? It has to be recorded. It has to be
In recorded history.
It has to be record. It has
That's
to be
not
from
going in.
record.
Why
Like
not?
it can't be personal experience. Like it can't be bringing your armyman into your weakest army, your
Have to trim this
quickest
down a bit, I
army,
think.
and run straight into the face, straight into the face of a bunch of Terminators from personal experience
Well, there's
into a friend's experience.
got the
It
charge of the
has
Light
to
Brigade.
It has to be from a recorded experience that's been recorded in history, so it's provable.
Well, you've got the last charge of the Light Brigade. So the Light Brigade was a cavalry unit. They got researchers to go capture the guns because their guns were getting overrun. Unfortunately, the guy who received it thought they meant the enemy guns, and so it was about 600 cavalry just went charging at the enemy guns, and it did not end well. So even a poet into the Valley of Death rode the brave. Several hundred, few hundred. Tell me if you know.
To be honest, to play Games Workshop now, I think you actually have to have a good understanding of what the rules mean.
Okay. Alright. Now look here, mate. See what you've got here. You've got a bit of a scuff here because you weren't lining it up properly.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, Mush, come here.
I think the cavalry.
Wait, Stinker, come here. Right. So because you were doing it too quick, and what you've done is when you twist the plastic instead of cutting the plastic,
Yeah.
you tear it. And when it tears, it doesn't tear equally. So you've teared a little tiny divot in there. There's a little tiny hole in there. Because you didn't line it up properly. So just when you're doing it, just take your time. I know, you get very excited because you enjoy doing your Games Workshop, don't you?
I also enjoy doing it on stream. Like, if I was to do the Terminators on stream, I'd be
okay.
I definitely wouldn't be on my phone all the time waiting for you to stop filing because I actually have someone to talk to.
Yeah, you do have this habit of when we're doing stuff off stream.
I don't even know if there's going to be like at least one person that's going to watch this video.
Well, maybe they will. Hopefully they will.
Like, I'm definitely going to rewatch these videos eventually. I just don't have time to do it considering I have a very busy schedule of school, doing Games Workshop.
I've got some bad news,
watching
mate.
The
You've got some homework to do in a minute. You've got homework to do in a minute, so I've got some bad news.
Watching the television.
Yeah.
running down the stairs.
At least you're doing something that's not just that.
Rolling down the stairs and pumping my head to get a drink.
Okay. Right.
Wait, no, that doesn't. Wait, no, that's not on my daily schedule. Did Rockvilla change it? Oh
I
wait,
don't know.
Oh wait, no. Oh wait, no. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. I'm just looking. Oh wait, no. I'm just looking.
What are we doing?
Oh wait, no. I'm just. Oh wait, no. I'm just looking at a field that has. That to me
Double
looks
check.
like it has the word on it. To be honest, some people find scripts in the weirdest ways, and I don't know how.
Okay. Sorry about that. I thought I could hear my phone buzzing away, so we're using my phone to record on at the moment at the top. There's just a little webcam at the side then. And then the little webcam at the side is what allows you to say hello. So, well, this is, I mean, we're definitely sort of starting out. We've done a few little bits. I've done some recording. I played RuneScape and I recorded myself doing that.
Okay, what do you think the strongest unit we have so far is, Kyron?
Right. Strongest unit. In what way? As in the hardest to defeat?
The hardest to defeat. In number of units, attack, defense.
Okay. As a single unit.
No, it can be an entire unit.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. As a whole unit. I mean, it all depends. The Stormbringer chariot hits like a meteor, as you would expect. But then you've got things like, we've got the Ogre Tyrant, which came as an optional. So on the series, you've got these optional little bits. So we did get the Ogre Tyrant, and Ogre Tyrants can be phenomenally tough. As you'd imagine, a great big mass of muscle and blubber and bad attitude. Obviously, we have this Spirit of Durthu, which not only has a very beastie range attack, but also has two different forms of close combat attack. One more for dealing with hordes, one more for dealing with sort of tougher models, which is very, very strong. You've got Zandire's Truth Seekers, which is a unit of Stormcast Eternals, who are basically 4 heroes in one unit, each one doing slightly different thing. When we were doing the plays testing for those, we found those to be particularly strong. We've got and I have to admit, I forget the names. This one here as well is another very.
Okay, let's just to bring this up, just to bring this up.
This one's got 12 as well. So
I hope this doesn't embarrass you, Dad. But just to bring this up.
Now I'm scared. I'm scared.
One time, I'm pretty sure my longest route for winning a game, an Age of Sigmar game against him, without losing a single model, is like 3 or 4. Which, to be honest, is honestly pretty good when you're someone that's barely even started and you're beating someone that's been doing this for years.
Yeah. So you.
To be honest, that's very
embarrassing. So I've always wanted.
Do I have regret? No, because it's funny and this is television.
Yeah. Well, we always wanted to get you into Games Workshop, and we saw Stormbringer. There's another one at the moment for 40k called Combat Patrol, which I would absolutely love to get you into as well. It's I'm not sure we can afford that subscription on top of this one right now. Although it does give you about 9 different combat patrols, 1 for each army. So in that way, you can say that it's a way of collecting a bit of everything. Is that going to be useful when you've gone very, very heavy towards Space Marines and I'm Astra Militarum? I mean, I've got a few other bits kicking around. I've got some Grey Knights, I've got some old Dark Angels, which will be fun to put together. I might donate those to you. I've got some old Chaos Marines that I definitely want to finish putting together.
Don't you have some old world hanging around?
Well, this is the other thing as well, isn't it? Is that the old world has come in. I think I worked it out as about 10,000 points of old world miniatures, the old world Empire, that I actually haven't put together yet. I think the only thing, so I've got Hellblaster Volligans, Hellstrike Rossy launchers, cannon.
Don't you have a
couple of cannons, mortars.
The White Dwarf hanging around somewhere?
Sorry?
Don't you have the White Dwarf hanging around somewhere?
Yes, I've still got the 30th model, anniversary model, lurking. Which way does this one go? Very much sort of goes the one at the top that way around. So that sort of way. So I've got that one lurking around. So that's got the White Dwarf at the top being held aloft by. Who is it? Is it One of them's Bugman. Is it all Godric's? So I got that. My mate. I mean, going back many moons when there was a lot more metal models in Games Workshop. It was for me. It was all about the wood elves. Now I don't actually have that many wood elf models. Here we go. So there's our.
Anyway, I'm gonna go.
Such a cool.
Anyway, I'm gonna go have them. Anyway, I'm gonna go get some. Anyway, I'm gonna go get.
Well, not
anyway,
before.
Go
Not before you cut out number 2, 3, and 4 for me.
Anyway,
Or am I doing that?
The invisible squig.
You get the
I
invisible.
have the invisible
You have
squig.
You do have an invisible squig, don't you?
Wait, where'd he go? Oh no! The invisible squig is gone. How am I ever gonna find him? I can't, because he's invisible. To be honest, I'm pretty sure you already figured that out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I will find him one day. But today won't be that one day. Maybe one day I will bring him back to the stream.
Mate,
Try
the
to
invisible
not be
squig.
invisible.
Can you get hold of like a really big squig plushie? You know, a big
To be honest,
cuddle.
you probably can with what Games Workshop merch is.
Well, it's just like other things, isn't it? It's other companies have their merch as well.
It's Mollog.
Right, so Mollog. So here's the big boy himself. So this is what's nice is that there's got some nice big sections here.
What I really like about the model is that it actually shows scratches from what I can see.
Sure,
Like,
it's not.
40k obviously doesn't know what it's going at because
Okay.
none of
Rewind.
the models
Quantify that statement before you go on. What do you mean? What 40k doesn't know?
40k does not know what absolute war means because there is clearly no scratches on the Space Marines. Even though they've
Well,
painted
right.
them.
Okay. Stop a second there. Stop a second. So under statements, weird statements. So the box art. I'll give you this. So when we have a look at the box art. So here's the box art for the Terminator box, right? So at the moment they look incredibly clean. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
but they've been painted clean. But if you look carefully, what they've done really cleverly is they've used, I don't know if you can see this, so like on here, you can see they have got scratches. Now these scratches aren't on the model. So what they'll do
To be honest,
is
I
they
don't
will,
think scratches on paint is just going to be showing some signs of war.
well, you can make it as bad, you can make it as tough as you want. This stuff has been around for a long time. It's
to
yours.
To be honest, to make the model look very realistic, you're going to need to go get a bit of good craft knife and put a bit of scratches in the armor.
Well, some people do. I mean, like some people when they have a tank, they'll have a dozer blade on it on the front, and they will spend a quite a time. They might chip at it. I've seen people put bullet holes in things using a hobby drill. Okay, and then a craft knife to sort of scuff up the edges to make it look like an impact. I don't think you can say entirely that 40k doesn't do that sort of level of damage because it absolutely does.
Well, it doesn't intend it to really.
No, it does. It does very much intend it, but it's down to the individual painter because if you, what you have to be careful with these models is you dictate everything that happens with this model. You've got an entire, in 40k you have an entire galaxy of war. In in Age of Sigmar, okay, the mortal realms are bigger than the old world was, and there are so they're bigger than
To be honest, what do you think you would cower? What model do you think you would cower before? Cower the most before in real life in 40k? Because that's a big question. There are so many models and units that would make me cower before. Unless if it's just a regular Space Marine with a bolt gun. Yet again, you can catch bullets in between your teeth. I just hope it doesn't rapid fire. But yet again, not many attacks actually do that. Unless if they have like 20 attacks or something. I think I'm gonna be able to dodge a bullet easy. Like I'm pretty sure. To be honest, if Dash can do it, he's not even. To be honest, if Dash from the Incredibles can do it, the 10th quickest speeder in history. To be honest, I can dodge it
Hmm.
But Sonic, to be honest, honestly has the best. To be honest, honestly has the best chance of catching me. Probably because he's
So,
the
anyway,
fictional character. Some people
right.
say it's a Flash.
What are we on about? Battle damage.
Sonic is Sonic.
Right, battle damage. We're talking about battle damage, yeah? So, you've got huge scope for war. Alright? Absolutely massive scope for war. And for you to sculpt or do your army in a way that you want to. So, this way, if you have it nice and smooth like this, you can either paint it on, you can model it on, you can decide how battle damage. Are they brand new and pristine? You don't have to paint them as Ultramarines. There are lots of different chapters.
To be honest,
So you
I
might
have no
decide-
idea what I want to do, so I just pick the neutral Space Marines.
Well, they're not neutral. The Ultramarines are the Codex chapter. You know,
Be honest-
they are.
No, they are the neutral ones. You can't say that they're really. You can't say that they're. You can't say that they're as fast as the men on bikes or.
Yeah, they
as
are.
quick as sneaky as Ravenclaw or as.
No, but they do have those
as
elements.
the Chaos Marines.
Yeah, but you. Right. First of all, stop making that weird noise. Secondly, yes, they absolutely do. Because the Ultramarines are very much about all forms of warfare, and they are very, very, very good at it. And they've got the different doctrines you can use. You've got Devastator Doctrine and Tactical Doctrine and all these things. So to say, oh, they've got no sneaky models, that's all Raven Guard, is absolutely not true. Even somewhere like the Salamanders, although they're not very, they don't tend to do it, will have some sneaky units in there, just not as many. It doesn't fit their natural way of doing things. Right? So, you know, the Raven Guard will have at least a few big bulky tanks in there, even though that's not the way.
I think the Invisible Squid's sleeping. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be coming upstairs today. Last time I saw him, he was black and white, and he was for some reason cute.
Right, so these bits done, pretty much. This is the only thing with these big bits. So it just makes a big, got big flat surfaces.
But I'm pretty
Very
sure
worried
it's
about
just
getting
from
scuffs.
those
You can't really hide it behind bad things. Okay, a little bit there, a little bit there.
I'm gonna go see if I can find the Invisible Squid again.
Well, if you're going to do that, fair enough. Okay. Right. So I'm on my own now. It's all gone very, very quiet. From the sounds of it, the visible squig has gone downstairs. And underneath. Right, so let's have a look then. So let's dry fit this together. So it looks like, what do? We've got the body that goes together. We've got some pins here, so we have to be careful there. Let's see how well this fits together. Hang on a second, what's going on here? Have I got this the right way around? I'm going to think I haven't got this the right way around, which probably helps if I do this. That's better. So, yeah, it fits together a little bit better. Hello!
Okay, so Rockman is back. Let's just hope he doesn't barge in again.
Yes, absolutely.
We're very close to this, and we don't have to end the stream early.
Okay. Yes. Well, we're nearly done. We're on this last one, so I'm just trying to think about how well this is going to fit together with just the pins. So, we've got. Now this is a little bit of a problem. We've got these quite big cracks
Besides,
here.
I'm not the one who's
So I think what we're going to need to do.
To be honest, I'm not the one who's
trim down the
painting,
pins.
So it's really your idea if you want to trim down the pins or not.
I'm going to trim down the pins just a little bit, and I'm going to put some glue all the way around the edge to help hide the lines.
To be honest, I just want my models looking as clean as possible.
Ah yes.
How long has this been going?
We've been going for a bit now.
To be honest, please, if for anyone who's pausing the stream,
click.
please don't. I would recommend not doing that again. So.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edge. Seems to be where the problem is. So I'm going to use some little plastic glue around the edge, and then when we force it together, the idea is that this will then.
Why do I suddenly think of Aladdin? Why do I suddenly feel like this is the guy that you? Why do I suddenly feel like Mollog's the bouncer you'd see in front of a theatre?
Just because he's big, he's a bouncer. Oh, that's not going in.
No, he specifically wanted in front of the theatre. He suddenly feels like
theatre.
Theatre.
That's better. Right.
For some reason, he feels like someone that guarding the cinema and guarding the entrance of the cinema, specifically was today's schedule being Aladdin. I don't know why.
So if I use my fingernail just to scuff down it, if I hold this a bit still.
Do you think this guy?
So hopefully what you can see is because I'm scuffing down with my fingernail, it's smushing the glue into the gap.
Do you think this guy would like video games that are like fantasy, mystical forest things?
I think this one wouldn't necessarily like video games at all. It being a troll goth. I was about to say troll.
Yeah, but if it did have video games, do you think it would like the fantasy one with a bunch of mushrooms in it?
Maybe.
Do you think it would like go into play in World of Warcraft and instantly just start going
Maybe.
at it with the mage?
Going at it with the mage.
Or barbarian?
Yes, well.
Do you think if this guy was playing Games Workshop, or was playing Games Workshop, or was around the time when Games Workshop was doing stuff with D&D, you think he'd be the barbarian, or he'd just go for absolute bootleg and he'd love the space orcs?
Right.
To be honest, that's...
How's that? How's this for the body?
Most of these models don't even implicate on their personality because they really just don't want to put into it because all they think about is...
Right. Next one, mate. We need...
Just
five
crushing their
and
enemies
six.
under their foot. Creating the battlefield of
5 and 6. 5 and 6, please.
To be honest, we have no iron jaws, but I'm assuming that they're going to be the most brutal of the bunch.
Right, come on, 5 and 6, please. You've got your own clippers.
Oh yeah, I don't know where they are.
Probably the bed. Yeah, corner of the bed. There.
Why do I keep putting these down?
5 and 6.
To be honest, what I really don't care about in Games Workshop is really just if a spell lands or not. If a spell lands or not, they're normally just an extra hit point off, 3 extra hit points off, or 3 extra hit points off, or 3 extra hit points off.
Yes.
3 extra hit points off, or giving a model another attack, or an extra, or giving a model another defense, giving a model 2 defense rolls, or giving a model 1 extra, lowering the number that they need to defend themselves. But if it really doesn't land, does it really have is that small difference really going to affect the battle that much? Like, the butterfly effect exists, but this is Games Workshop. That model could be killed the next turn, and yet again, still with the spell, even with the spell. So half the time it really won't matter if it misses. So if a spell hits or not, I only enjoy the spell landing because it gives me a better chance of a model surviving the next turn, but it doesn't mean it will. Like, I won't be too massively sad if a spell lands. I'm pretty sure no one is sad if a spell lands unless if they really need it to land.
Right.
like what if your opponent's spell that doesn't land? Are you gonna be really happy? Like,
Have you got
no,
number 6 for me?
Spells don't really matter.
Have you got number 6?
Like they can give you some extra help because they can give you some extra help, but in the end they're not really going to be that help. But in reality they're not that helpful. When a regular model, like if you was an attacking one, a regular model could already hit for 200. Like the only reason I want an extra attack on a model is because it's a spirit of Darfu. If it's a spirit of Darfu doing his max level, doing his highest attack, doing his attack with his highest damage.
All right, steady, catch it.
Like
Make sure you catch it.
The best spell you could possibly have that doesn't make it too OP. Too OP is making it so that it can attack twice with one move in a turn. But yet again, that could not exist. Just because a spell looks really cool and it's really good feeling to actually land it, it doesn't mean it's actually going to make the battle any better for you. Like 75% of the time, you're not really going to be reliant on spells to save your singular strong model you have in an army of mages. Especially if you're playing Skaven.
I don't know, mate. You've not played a lot of Skaven. In fact, you've played no Skaven. So I don't know if you can say that entirely.
Yeah, but we do have a Skaven model.
We have one Skaven model.
There was a squig.
I've got some Warhammer Skaven somewhere.
He's sitting up there with a squig. Here he is. Here I'll show him.
There you go. If you keep your hand still, just leave your hands to focus. Get your thumb out of the way. There you go. Our Mollog Bombardier. Big clear. There we go.
You're not really going to rely on magic unless if you're playing a class that really relies on magic, and normally most of the time, and really you're only gonna have a couple big units that can actually do some damage to the army. And like if your army is just made up of magic, then sure, you need to land that spell or else you are toast. But yet again, the Gryph-hound Chariot could easily not need a movement spell, and half the time you'll have a unit for everything. This is the whole reason that spells exist, to make your army that's lacking something be able to move 2 extra inches, 3 extra inches, to finally be able to reach that thing that you've been walking across the battlefield, but that's being pushed back by big units like Darfu, or just straight up like Darfu or the Gryph-hound Chariot. But really, you're normally going to have an army and that's going to be able to handle anything, unless if you're playing a specific class like Skaven or Space Orcs that really need that extra bit of magic to make them and be able to handle one thing better.
Well, no, Orcs and yours just hit it. Come here. And Skaven have their technologies as well. So I'm going to put this on here, okay? Ready?
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, is that on? Nearly? Ah, there we go. A bit of a twist and we're there. So that's his spitting toad.
So I'm not really going to be sad about magic rolls missing, because I'm normally gonna just have an army that covers everything and can deal with every goal every way. Pushing back units, getting to places that they need to in a very short amount of time. Catching potgrocks.
Come here, you. Another one.
Catching potgrocks.
Another one.
And stuff.
Come on.
Or just straight up.
In here.
Or just straight up abusing the army's mechanics to make them fall straight into a trap.
That's not good.
Like Raven Guard falling into a trap. Like Raven Guard falling straight into my trap. falling straight into my trap with Necrons, trying to
You
lure
don't
them
have
into
any Necrons.
trying.
What do you want Necrons for?
Exactly, but I'm saying.
Oh, like an
I
analogy.
normally I'd rather have an army that can cover every single
I
goal
need
than have a magic than have a risk.
Last two, 7 and 1. Last two, 7 and 1.
Spells.
7 and 1, mate.
Unless if it's that one guy that raised the entire dead.
7 and 1. Come on, you. Stop chatting. Stop chatting everyone's head off.
Unless
And
if
go
that's
with it.
that one guy that raised the entire dead army.
Shh, shh, shh,
Dead armies, then I really
Come on.
need him on my army.
Come on. Last one then. Last 2 bits, and then we can finish that, and that is a job well done. We've actually completed the model on the full stream.
To be
Okay,
honest,
right.
how long do you think the stream is? An hour? An hour? 2 hours? 3
We have
hours?
been going. Where are we now? We've been going for a while. We've been going for 77 minutes, so an hour and 17. So we did set ourselves 2 hours to get this done. So I've got some time. Which is not a problem.
Like, what I really feel really strange is that people really dedicate their models to magic and it's really good strategies. Now, I'm not judging them because you can use magic anywhere you want and I'm sure it will work, but what I find strange about this is that I'm going to risk your entire turn down to a few rolls so you can get a good attack in.
Right. So what you do is you play.
So I don't really care if a magic roll misses
Definitely
because I'd
listen
rather
to you.
have a Gryph-hound chariot that can cover a lot than have a magic user on a group of stormcast tunnels to make them insanely strong. It just makes no sense to me. Why would you put down your entire turn to a single roll of the dice when there are alternate strategies that are sometimes guaranteed to turn the table of the field, making you the one in the lead? So I'm not really going to be impressed if I get a magic user or not, because sure, it will be fun to paint and it will be really wacky and
Will I be able to reach all the pieces if I glue them on? So if I glue them on here,
I'm not gonna really be going to buy a bunch of magic users. I'm sure I have
Yeah,
one and two
so
in my army in case things get messy.
Actually, we don't need to really stick it.
I'm
Going to keep
not
these 2 separate, I
really
think.
going to want to use
Right.
a bunch of magic users. So if you do use a
Come on then,
bunch
mate.
of
Last 2
magic
bits.
users,
Here we go.
you are, to be honest,
Come on then.
to be honest,
Are you ready?
think
Now.
you must come down to a lot of luck.
Okay, so what we're going to do, careful, don't push down on the head. So what we're going to do is I'm not going to use glue. Okay,
Yeah, I
just
would agree
on
with
the off chance. I'm not going to glue down the mushrooms at the top because there is detail underneath the mushrooms at the top. And obviously I want to get in here and I want to do some little bit of correction because there's still a few gaps here that I'm not massively happy with. I think they'll show too much when we start doing. So what we can do is we can push it on for the moment, and then when it comes around to painting it, I can
What
just
about
remove
the
it.
head?
Give me 2 seconds.
What about the caps?
Yeah.
To be honest, it makes no sense why he has mushrooms going on his back when he has no fertile soil on him.
Well, because
does he just like to lie in the ground for a bunch of hours, or did he do some genetic breeding and it went wrong?
No, I don't think the genetic breeding went wrong. I think just simply
And
because
how come they have a non-existent a non-living object was a living object?
Well, because
So
they're
it's
not
sort of
it's not normal skin. These are Troggoths, and the Troggoths have the ability to regenerate as well. So these mushrooms, these things will be living on them. Okay, so these will be living on them, and they'll be regenerating and living together. Okay. Oh, that's never good. Right, living together symbiotically.
To be honest, I don't understand why the kids put their face in mushrooms when in reality sometimes the kids will sometimes be eaten by the mushrooms.
Well, that's because they live in the dank,
I'm
dark
guessing
places
half the
in the
time
world.
that the cruel boys kind of force them to use the mushrooms.
I don't think it's cruel, boys. They've got completely individual cultures. You can have.
To be honest, I just think the cruel boys are forcing them to use some sort of animal force.
No, it's not the cruel. The cruel boys aren't the bosses. All right, they are distinct tribes. They do very distinct, different things. Yeah, I definitely don't want to glue that on because I will never get to the detail under there if I do. But yeah, they are all distinct tribes. They've got their own ways of doing things. They live in their own different places. So although they have come together for this one big event, okay, you can't turn around and say, well, you know, it's the cruel boys in charge, because that's just not true. The societies, the Gloomspite gets have in a society.
Yet again, they do. Yet again, if you have seen the models, just let me go. Just let me go. Just let me make someone go ballistic. Just let me make. Just let me make the.
Careful, you got two there.
Show how ballistic the. Just let me show how the ballistic the Gloomspite kit should be. Because if we have a look at this one,
okay,
we're having a look at this one.
And underneath, we'll get that glued in. So when we paint, we can remove that to paint.
So if we have a look at this one, it gets kicking another git in the face. To be honest, it's probably that they're fighting.
Right.
But that's just git showing violence to each other.
Yeah, but you see, they're from different.
Many
right.
boys.
Yes, I know, but they're from different places. So the.
Or wait, let me just show you something. Or let me just show you something. They are the first models of destruction we got from it. This git is reliant for this guy to survive, or else he just for some reason Thanos snaps out of existence.
Will you Thanos snap? What is it with you and Thanos? Right. So, okay. So, just remember, mate, they're from different places. So these guys live in the swamp, and these guys represent.
So it's either that. Yeah, but yet again, you can't not say the git just doesn't disappear. Like it just doesn't exist anymore. As soon as it dies, like how do you? Like I don't expect you to be running across the entire battlefield when you can only run like what 6 inches at a time. I don't think you're going to be making it out in a single turn.
Right then. So we have got Mollog, we have got the Bat Squig, we have got the Stalag.
Heck, I'm pretty sure that. Heck, I'm pretty sure that he's hitting you with the
Stalag Squig.
Was the hot side
and
of
the
the
spike shrimp.
moving.
So here we go. So here are all of the. Where's his face? Oh, there he is underneath there. So we've got Spike Shroom. Okay. If you think about the cost of one issue, you get a lot for it. Stalag Squig, Bat Squig, and then Mollog himself. Okay, so all finished then, mate. Done for the day. Okay, you gonna say bye to everyone?
So bye. We will have an update very soon.